Hey, everybody, welcome back to Back in Tunes.
I'm Michael. That's Jacob.
Oh, calm down, Donald. Jeez, don't pop a blood vessel.
Of course, Jacob's doing the voices of Goofy and Donald, and it stuns me. The Donald isn't too hard to do, but the Goofy, the cadence is really hot, really hard to do. I can kind of do that thing from the Goofy movie where he goes, "Another bowl of high dad soup." No, that sucks. See, that sucked. I don't know how you get it.
Oh, you just gotta think like a stereotypical hillbilly at times.
It's so
With a
good.
little bit of Bill Clinton.
Okay, so we've been kind of avoiding the golden age of cartoons, which is ironic since of all the eras of cartoons, I know the golden age and the silver age probably the best from the very beginnings up until probably about the end of the theatrical shorts in 1971 with the end of Woody Woodpecker. Yet for some reason we've never tackled these, and I don't know why. But this episode we're going to be discussing the Disney cartoons. I have to say I'm kind of a jerk. I never really cared for Disney because I thought it was too cutesy. So I kind of wanted to skip Pluto and Mickey because I never really found them funny. They're beautifully animated, but I never found them that entertaining. Do you like Mickey and Goofy? Or Mickey and
they were
Pluto?
they were pretty boring. I'm gonna admit that. But when it came to Donald Duck, gosh, I just couldn't help but laugh. It's like people got him pissed off because it brought joy to them. Like, God, get this guy's blood pressure going. They're gonna kill him, and they don't even realize it. What's wrong with those cartoons?
Yeah, every major
There's so much.
company that was doing the animated shorts, they had a particular. It's usually like the A list, like the way it works with Marvel Comics. Their A list is the Avengers, X Men, Spider Man, and the Hulk. Whereas like Looney Tunes, their A list was so strong. Their B list was pretty much an A list for any other company. But Disney, as big as they were, they only had the big four: Donald, Goofy, Pluto, and Mickey. And it's kind of strange. Chip and Dale would come and go, but they're usually part of someone else's cartoon. And it's kind of odd that they only had the four. Am I missing one?
Oh, I can't really think of anyone other than those four. I think of Minnie, I think of Daisy.
Yeah, but they're
I
always
think,
part of the other ones. Minnie was always part of Mickey. Daisy was always part of Donald. So it's kind of a very short catalog of stars for them.
and yeah, Pluto was a supporting villain.
Villain?
Yeah, not Pluto. Bluto
Oh, there's two
or Pete.
Blutos, because
No, no,
there's
no, Pete.
oh Pete. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, so this is the playlist we found on YouTube. It's a really short playlist, but we're gonna pick a few right in the middle. Watch all of them; they're amazing to look at. Fast story pacing, but these in particular we wanted to do. I'll put the link with the episode so that we're all on the same page. It's just a compilation of Donald and Goofy, and it's some of the best '50s animation you've ever seen in your life. I think maybe better than UPA and Looney Tunes combined. It's so beautiful.
And great voiceovers. However, in this first one, tennis racket, I was surprised. I was like, I don't hear the actual Goofy voice. You hear his like little, his laugh and his giggles. But then once the whole announcement comes up, it's radio broadcasting of its time.
Right. Well, here's the weird thing about Goofy is while analyzing these cartoons again, because I'll admit to this. 15 years ago, I worked hardcore on making a book about Golden Age, the whole shorts, that they made for theaters, like the whole Golden Age cartoons.
Yeah, I remember
And
these.
for some reason, like halfway through the book, I just stopped because I realized I was not covering any new ground that someone else had not. So I just felt like I was just reiterating something that had already been said, so it was pointless. But while I was doing that, I watched thousands and thousands of cartoons, and the Disney cartoons were the hardest to get a hold of. But I feel that the '50s is the greatest era because the budgets were huge, the storylines were so funny, so fast paced. These are choice selections, but I noticed something goofy about the cartoon, or something about the Goofy cartoons is he is an everyman. The argument between Pluto and Goofy, they're both dogs.
Oh gosh, yes, I know. It's like how come one's not like the other? One's just like dog in the real world. Little like different different consciousness than our own. Can't exactly communicate like with us like we could
Yeah,
with
but
ourselves.
now Pluto is a dog. Now Goofy looks like a dog, but Goofy represents the everyman, like the quality in all of us that's clumsy, that's doofus. That we're just a dog, metaphorical dog, not a literal dog. But that's why in a lot of the Goofy cartoons, it's not Goofy the character that we know so much. I don't know if Goofy is a race of dogs because you ever notice they all kind of look alike. I really haven't pinned down that exactly, but Goofy himself stands for every man that's ever been uncomfortable, clumsy, a goober basically. So that's
Yeah.
why everybody looks the same, and they could basically be all Goofies.
Yes. A nitwit.
Yeah, 'cause in Mickey's world, there is only one Goofy, and that's the Goofy that we all know and love, that we've come to know through the movies and Goof Troop and stuff like that. But at the time of these cartoons, when it's set in his world, there's thousands of Goofies. It represents all man.
Pretty much, yeah. No, that confused me for a bit. I was like, wait a minute, why aren't there more Goofies? Like when they all team up and get together.
Yeah, it's a weird meta thing where
They they ask this kind of question in Stand By Me. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, Pluto's a dog, Donald's a duck, Mickey's a mouse. What's Goofy?
So we are going to go ahead and start. Are you already playing the list?
Oh no, actually, I'm waiting on you.
Oh, okay. So we're going to start it at the 13:43 moments. We're going to jump in, appropriately enough, jump into the dancing episode with Goofy, and then we'll go from there and see if we play out the list, or if we stop, we stop. We don't want to go on too long. We already have gone for like 7 minutes just on this. All right, so go ahead and hit play. We'll play a little bit of music with it. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retro Rockets, go!
Okay, so are we at tennis racket or are we at the dancing one?
We're at the dancing one.
Okay, good. I fast forwarded just in case. Thankfully. My gosh. This isn't how people actually dance. No, this is self-historically inaccurate. Darn you, Disney!
So you notice the music is a full orchestra. They spared nothing when they did the music. Every single short had an original soundtrack, and it was just fantastic.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, these were played in between, at movies.
Yeah, either they would start them off. Yeah, here's the weird thing is, it's typical for movies now to be 2.5 hour big epic events. Yes, they did have Gone with the Wind, they had Wizard of Oz, they had the big event movies, but some of the studios, they had shorter films. And back then, I don't know what the attention span was. I think it's ironic the movies were shorter back then because there was nothing else to do. Now we kind of want movies to speed up, yet they're getting longer. And so the movies wouldn't pad out appropriately enough. They would be like a 75-minute movie, so they had to pad it. So they throw in a 5-minute news segment, and then 10 minutes of trailers, and then right before the movie, they would throw in a cartoon. And every major studio had a contract. Either they had their own animated division, like the way Warner Brothers did, or they contracted out to an animation studio who would make the shorts for them. And, Disney did not have a studio, per se, when it came to live-action films. They had a couple animated movies, but for the most part, their stuff was distributed through RKO, who now is completely defunct, has been defunct for 50 years.
Of course. They're such wonderful cartoons, and that was clear. That was really depicted very well in the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is like a blend of animation and live-action film, and it was done perfectly well.
The Roger Rabbit movie is a love letter to all of these cartoons that the people who were kids in the 50s and 60s grew up on, because once they stopped showing in theaters or they got older, they would sell them to a network. That's part of the reason why these shorts died. Disney saw that it was more profitable. Instead of spending, I'll say this, Disney did not play cheap. He had the most expensive animated shorts around. They were $75,000 to $100,000 per short. We're talking 6 minutes of animation. It cost that much back in the 50s. That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
But then he saw that there was more money in making either full movies or original programming for television. That's why you see the cartoons almost extinguished by the time the 60s hit, and he was solely focused on the wonderful world of Disney every single week delivering a new movie, a new cartoon, something. So, and them and Hanna-Barbera did the same thing. They saw there was more profit in doing television. The only problem is the quality sucked in comparison to what we're looking at right now.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Just seeing this on YouTube. I mean, this is great quality animation right here,
Yeah, that's the
and
worst part.
it looks brand new.
Yeah, the colors are absolutely. I don't even think these have been touched up. They might have been cleaned up by Disney, but it is absolutely amazing. I mean, if you were to air this now, some people might actually think this was in. Oh, is this just made? Is this new?
Like old, created in the old
Right?
fashioned way.
Yeah. I hate the fact that CGI is the only thing. I love CGI when it comes to like really high quality films, like the way Pixar does. But why is it everything now? Why is there no hand drawn animation except for like cheap, low budget flash animation like the way Archer is? I love
Or foreign
Archer,
film,
but
or foreign
it doesn't
films
look the
too.
best. What were you gonna say?
Foreign films as well. They still do hand drawn
This
animation.
is true. The French really embrace hand drawn animation.
And thankfully, oh gosh, what was that one? It was a French film about three sisters. I can't remember what it was called.
I remember there's the triplets of Belleville. Is that the one?
That's it.
Okay.
There we are.
You
Okay,
know,
honestly, I, this cannot teach anybody how to dance at all. This is quite horrible. If I
yeah,
was a kid and I watched this and I tried to copy Goofy, I'd look like a big idiot.
yeah, it's weird. It says that Goofy's hat is intended to be a rumpled fedora, but looking at that hat, there's no way that's a fedora. That is, I don't know what that is. That's like a sock hat crumpled up
It's like
into
a
a. It's ridiculous.
it's like if a top hat and a chef hat had a baby.
Right.
That's exactly what it would look like.
And it got dropped on his head a lot.
Just as Goofy, oh, how could they? Just as Goofy was about to swoon his woman, all of a sudden everybody comes in and just messes it up. He gets the crap kicked out of him. Oh my god, this is an unintentional mosh pit. Yeah, you know what I noticed? Like the girl he was dancing with was like human, not dog,
Yeah,
not goofy dog.
that's where it clicked in for me. That's where it clicked in when I was watching that episode or that short. Is when I was like, oh, I get it now. All men are dogs, and Goofy represents every man. So that's why the women are normal, and Goofies are all dogs.
Oh gosh. It's like those men's rights activists getting all upset over the new Mad Max movie in Australia. Gosh, they should be getting mad at these old Disney cartoons.
So Goofy's full name is Goofus D Dog.
Goofus D Dog. Oh come on, listen to this too. Donald Duck had his own theme song. How awesome was that?
Wait, let me hear it. Ah, I think I missed it already. I did. I'm a goober. Oh, here we go. Actually, you might be a few seconds ahead of me, and right now I'm jumping.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm currently at the episode 3 for breakfast, which is Donald Duck starred in it, and it guest starred Chip and Dale. Yeah, he just throws in that little yeah at the end. That's so. Yeah, because Donald's a man. That's why.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you listen to the music, and a lot of it it has that quality where it's like a bunch of people in one room singing together. Like the 50s and 60s way of singing a song, you never hear that now. Nobody would ever do that unless it was in parody form.
Right. But no, this one was just straight up like, yeah, they were serious. It was a legit song. It wasn't goof. It wasn't, meant to be funny. Unless you're hearing Donald Duck sing the entire thing, then yes, it is meant to be funny because it's Donald Duck.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no,
go ahead.
Chip and Dale like didn't have actual dialogue. They just had noises.
Yeah, I think it was added later. I think they wanted them to not be confused. Do you remember the two mice that were in the Warner Brothers cartoons that always caused problems?
Oh
One was
yeah.
kind of like it was kind of like the Honeymooner kind of. One was kind of goofy and another one was tough. and
Right.
it was kind of like that. So I think that's why Chippendale didn't have voices, and I don't even know if they ever even had voices in the shorts. I don't think it was until Rescue Rangers is when they started talking.
That stack of pancakes looks so good right now. I really want pancakes.
Dude,
I really,
flapjacks
really
are
want
amazing.
pancakes.
But do you call them pancakes? Or you do call them hot cakes, flapjacks?
I don't care. I just want to eat them. Yeah. So basically, so if anything, I think Donald was doing them a favor. He was just roasting their chestnuts for them.
You know,
But
what's funny
no,
is
they won't settle for that. They just want the pancakes. They want to steal his pancakes. They're
with
little thieves.
with Goofy, word has it that Disney actually hated the Goofy cartoons because they were just setups and breakdowns. You know, just here's a gag, here's a gag, 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 and then they weren't that long. You know, the whole cutesy emotional involvement kind of stuff. But that's what I love about the Goofy ones is because they're set up like Tex Avery cartoons where it's just set up punchline, set up punchline. It's just very, very funny, and at no point am I ever bored.
Oh, of course not. No, I wasn't. No, Goofy was entertaining to watch. I felt, yeah, no, I felt like I was constantly watching slapstick. Oh man, I kid you not. Just like in that last one. Oh, jeez. Like joke after joke after joke. It's like just like cutting up all the papers. Just make him look like feet so he can remember his dance moves and following them to the T, till he ended up kicking a guy in the bum. Uh,
Did you watch the Goofy movie?
yes, I did.
I absolutely love the first one. The second one's okay, an extremely goofy movie, but that first Goofy movie is so beautiful and it's such a strong story.
Oh, I know. It was especially like huge father son bonding kind of cartoon. Especially like I mean, it definitely took place after Goof Troop.
Did
I
it?
guess after Goof Troop.
I thought it took place before, but I could be wrong.
Oh no, it took place after because Max is a little kid, and then in this one he's a teenager and he's you know I guess yeah he's in high school. I think it was like a year. I think it might have been senior year. No, junior year.
Okay. Yeah, I never saw Goof Troop, so I wasn't sure. For some reason, I thought it was afterwards.
Yeah, in Goof Troop he was like what 12, preteen, I think around that age. Max always had the same voice though. He did not sound any different. His friend Max. Oh gosh. Now that I'm remembering it, Goofy movie. Oh god, Pauly Shore was his friend, the
Oh
one
yeah, that's
who
right. I
had the
forgot.
addiction to cheese whiz.
Hey, buddy. There was a time.
Shadow Wednesday.
There's a time when Pauly Shore was king. About 5 years there, everybody loved him, and all of a sudden, within the instant, we just turned on him, and it was such a shame because I thought I still love Pauly Shore.
Oh, I do too. I mean, gosh, I think he's still like in charge of his mom's comedy club.
Yeah, that's
The
why
one
you
that
don't see him
loves
much
it.
anymore. I think one because our interests changed. You know, we kind of turned our backs on him, which had to
Yeah,
suck. And then, of course, like you're saying, he got focused on saving the club.
yeah, and I think he went on a stand up tour recently, and he's also taking care of his mom because his mom's like, she's very old and her mental health is starting to deteriorate.
Can you do
You'd
the
have to,
goofy laugh? The wahoo.
oh gosh, no, I can't hit tones that high. I'm too much of a baritone. I mean, I'll probably try it later, but I don't want to hurt anyone's ears.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the infamous scene. We were discussing. You just said something to me before about it being a racist moment, and I was like, "Where?" I kept
Oh,
waiting for it, and it didn't happen. And
I know, here it is.
when I saw it, I was like, "Oh shit, you're right. That is not good." You know,
I know,
we have to take some of these older cartoons with a slight grain of salt. That's not an excuse for being racist, but we understand where they're coming from. These were not made now; they were made then when we are kind of insensitive and clueless to things that were different than us. But yeah, right here, holy crap!
that and Walt Disney. Oh gosh, Walt Disney was anti-Semitic.
Is he, or was that a rumor?
Oh no, he was definitely anti-Semitic. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Oh jeez, this is so evil. It's so evil. Oh, Asians must hate this cartoon right now.
Oh yeah, it probably didn't go. There is stuff from that era that just makes you cringe. Like Breakfast at Tiffany's is a fantastic movie until you get to Mickey Rooney, and you're like, ah, I am very uncomfortable right now. Oh boy.
Oh no, gosh, I'm pretty sure it made. Oh no, I think when Bruce Lee saw that movie, he was just really quiet. When, everybody was laughing at Mickey Rooney, he's just sitting there going, just silent. Like, how's this funny?
Yeah, you know what's funny is I watched the Sea Salt once, but I don't particularly remember it. Um, it wasn't as funny as the other ones that we've seen with him. It looks like maybe very early 50s, maybe late 40s. It's a little more cutesy than the rest of them, but it feels a little more I don't want to say touchy feely.
Right. Um, okay, now this episode here, Sea Salts.
Yeah.
He looks like Uncle Scrooge, kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but I wasn't sure if you were at the same point I was. Yeah, you get the feeling. Here's the thing: is did you know that Uncle Scrooge is only in one of the shorts? At the very end of the whole run, he's in the like one of the last five or six of them.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and he's only in one appearance. He was in the comic book. You know, the Carl Banks Uncle Scrooge comic book was huge. But for some reason, he never made the leap to the shorts, and they did one with him, and that was it.
And do you think somebody looked back and said, "Hey, let's turn this guy into a protagonist. Let's get him his own cartoon"?
Yeah, I don't know where the idea, where someone decided, well, let's launch. We can't take our A list, so let's take someone from the B list and turn them into a cartoon. That's why I think Chip and Dale and Ducktales were early choices because people love Scrooge McDuck from the comic strip, and Chip and Dale because they appeared in at least a handful of these cartoons, but they weren't the A list. So if it bombed, there wasn't really damage to the characters.
Yeah, I'm thinking this guy is this Jiminy Cricket, like young Jiminy?
You know what? I have no. Are you saying he's young? Because I see white hair and glasses.
Oh right. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me pause it so we can catch up.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Oh, I'm sorry. There he is. Yes, very much younger.
yeah.
Oh, now I get it. They were older. He was like Scrooge McDuck age earlier, so this must be a flashback. You know what's funny is I watched this one, but I think I walked out of the room to do something. I came back, so that's my fault.
Oh wow. It's like, gosh, to be that small, it's like it seems so complicated, but yet so luxurious. I mean, you just use his friend as a blanket and a cushion, and it wouldn't bug anybody. He's just so tiny. He makes no.
Why doesn't Donald wear pants?
That I don't get that either. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's because he's a duck, and it's an anatomic thing.
I don't know. It's just weird. He wears that fancy little shirt and hat, but then no pants. Do you
And
know
now
what?
they're on land.
Do you know what Donald Duck's middle name is?
Do tell me.
Fauntleroy.
Font. They actually. Fauntleroy, huh?
Like they got really lazy with Goofy, Goofy D Dog, and then they're like, screw it, Fauntleroy.
How much? It's like, what do you think was going on? How long of a process did it take
I
to give him a
know.
name?
I have no idea where that came from. It's so random.
Coconut water, yes. What a stinker. Oh, coconut water. It's very essential. It's good for you.
Yes, it is. A lot of people are just discovering that in the last decade.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Donald, you cheat. You stinking cheat.
You know the work that they've done to make Donald and Daffy so different must have been frustrating because the essential breakdown is the fact that they're both angry. Well, actually, Daffy started off kind of crazy, just a complete lunatic who antagonized people. But then Daffy switched to becoming the one who was antagonized, and he became all the worst aspects of who we are. Frustrated, greedy, lazy, and then you have Donald who works his butt off. He's an upstanding citizen for the most part, except that he has serious rage issues.
That he does.
My
I'm
goodness.
surprised he and Hulk aren't best friends.
Yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't have like a stroke or an ulcer. I just want to see him take a pill just once. Just my heart. Oh, my heart.
Just like have or pop a blood vessel in his eye a couple times.
I can't
Jeez, it's
believe
like,
it's
oh
just
god, he's
that.
still alive. How is he still alive, man? How could he still be doing these cartoons without even suffering a heart attack or? Oh,
Oh,
silly
hey,
boy.
Donald, you gotta calm down. Oh, seriously, take your pill. When was the last time you saw your psychiatrist?
Oh boy, we better administer in a shot before it's too late.
Clear. Oh.
Oh no, no, get a tranquilizer. Shoot up to 100 milligrams.
Hey,
50 is not enough.
hey, swollen his tongue. Oh.
Oh god, look at him. He's using his best friend as bait to catch fish. What a ah, gosh, you just want to really punch Donald right there.
You know,
But they're getting a lot of fish.
every year, I don't. You know, of course, neither one of us works at the Bullseye anymore. We're not going to name the store because we don't need to get any promotion. But we both worked at a certain retailer. That every single year, Disney would come out with some Mickey with some huge display, and he would do something like this year was like dancing Mickey, and then it was beatbox Mickey, and then rocking Mickey, and then workout Mickey. They never did anything with Donald or Goofy or Pluto. What the hell's up with? Why do people love Mickey so much? The other ones are so much cooler.
I know. Gosh, for me, it's really more about the supporting characters. Mickey, he's too simple. He's too one-dimensional. I've never seen him be evil, ever.
Which is the irony. Okay, so there was one where I think it was called. Oh God, it was like a Hug Me Mickey or something like that. There was Hug Me Elmo, which looked more like Strangle
Oh,
Me Elmo. But there was
hey,
one
I think that's Hang
where
Me, Mickey.
it was like 4 years ago. There was one where you touch Mickey and he goes, "Oh, that's it. Oh, that's it. Oh, that tickles. Oh, oh." But we started getting like kind of crazy with it. Like we wanted to rewire them and have them like, "Oh, oh, that's the spot. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Mickey likes
oh
it. Oh, thank you. I gotta clean up."
yeah. I gotta fit in the house now.
The Mickey is so pure that he's open to such parody. Like I almost makes you wonder if he behind the scenes he was just like the head of the KKK. Like something just ridiculous. He's so sweet that you make it. Oh yeah, he also has drifters buried in his backyard. Oh, I gotta bury another dead hooker.
Oh, Mickey, you're so going to hell.
The blood. There's so much blood.
Oh, better clean this up before dinner time. You're gonna have another party.
We're terrible people.
Oh,
There are some people probably listening to us right now that are hardcore Mickey fans that are like,
and then,
you are going to die for this.
pretty much. But I will tell them if they can't say we ruined their childhood because that would involve time travel, and none of us have a flying DeLorean, do we?
No, the Mickey cartoons. We love Mickey, but yeah, he was a little doll. But he's very, very important to animation. Without him, there would be no Disney. We wouldn't have Goofy. We wouldn't have Donald. And if you want to fast forward, we wouldn't have all these great animated movies. We wouldn't have Tron. We wouldn't have
No,
Tron.
no, we wouldn't. Oh my gosh, thank you Disney for Tron, but your intentions and your racism and anti-Semitism is just awful. You're kind of a terrible person,
Ugh.
Disney. Even though
Well, if it's true, I still have not. I've read some books on him, and they've a lot of them have alluded to it, but there's never been 100% fact. But I can't say it does seem like every hero, every great icon, does have some dirty laundry, and it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, John Wayne, um, the Henry Fonda. Look at Bill Cosby. There's these people who were huge icons that turn out to be, oh boy, that just ruined their entire legacy. What's the guy from Hogan's Heroes? Uh, Dang it, I can't remember his name. But he was the star of Hogan's Heroes, and all of a sudden it turns out that he was a huge porn freak, and then he got murdered in some weird way. It just seems like everybody who seems super, super sweet turns out to be kind of messed up, which makes me think that one day Tom Hanks is going to be like, oh, he's secretly part of the Al Qaeda, or he's starting the new neo Nazis. You're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. He's like the nicest guy on the planet. Yeah, that's because he wears the
Well,
flesh of the unbelievers.
well, I mean, Tom Hanks, he did star in the movie about the guys that created the Al Qaeda,
So
which
back
of
to
course
back
was
to
the CIA.
Goofy. This right here is one of the very last Goofy cartoons. The last one I think was called Traffic Jam or something like that. This right here is absolutely beautiful. Cartoons had switched somewhere around the early 50s. UPA changed all of animation by making it more streamlined, more stylized, and a lot of the clutter was taken out. The problem is a lot of the beauty was also taken out because companies like Terry Toons and Famous Pictures just went cheap. They didn't add anything to it at all. Disney went in, and these last handful of cartoons, they have this whole eyeball, squiggly line. If you look at some of the details, they're stylized details, like the way Chuck Jones would do them. It's very interesting. Like, okay, are you at the pier right now, where it says boat landing? You look at the pier.
Yep.
Okay, look at the lines. They're very stylized lines. They look more authentic in the fact that piers tend not to be all 100% straight pieces of wood. It just that simple little bit of animation right there, or the little lines in the dirt that give it detail and character. That's what they were working to do in the late 60s, and then part of that's because of Chuck Jones, but also because of Disney said, yes, we want stylized and we want streamlined, but we also want something high quality.
Right. I mean, God, you can even if you like pause it and look at the boat and the car before it got sunk, yeah, you can see all like the multiple pencil marks.
That it's so exquisite. Like undersea here, the detail put in. It's not 100% realistic, but that's not the point. It's more of a stylized look. And I grew up in an era where they started airing this stuff on TV, because they left the theaters, whatever, and they started packaging it up and throwing it on TV. So I grew up in this whole era of 60s, early 70s, really great stylized cartoons, and like the Pink Panther ones. The first couple years of Pink Panther were so high quality. Oh, amazing.
Oh wow, yeah. No, Pink Panther. Oh my gosh,
Why haven't we
that
talked about
cartoon.
Pink Panther yet, man?
We can get into that another time.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, no, I'm thinking this is pre-Max. This little ginger kid here.
Is it Max when he's really young?
Well, it's Goofy's son, but I think this is pre-Max before they even named him.
Oh, okay. I think you're gonna say that
Yeah.
Goofy lost his son. I was like, what?
Oh, jeez.
This is his first son
Yeah,
before Max, and the first one
I didn't know.
died.
I didn't know Disney would get that deep.
Ugh.
At least not at this time.
Well, they did kill off Bambi's mom. What's up with the Disney
Oh yeah.
cartoons killing off all the moms? Goofy apparently is a single dad.
I know. I was like, wait, what happened to Max's mom? Well, they never got into that. It's like, or was he just did Goofy adopt him? Because it didn't
don't
seem
know
like any
that story.
female was really interested in Goofy.
Maybe Pluto and Goofy were a gay couple and they adopted.
And they couldn't marry at the time. It was banned. Oh, it
So
makes
this
so
is
much
a metaphor for gay marriage. No,
sense. Oh gosh,
Taking
I'm pretty
the
sure
leap.
I'm pretty sure most people listening in Texas and Indiana would be pissed.
Seriously, the hate letters coming out to us right now are so high. Just like you're gonna get bulk mail one day, and I'm gonna be like all this hatred.
Oh, dude, if anything, just cut them up and recycle them.
Uh,
I would say burn them, but recycling's better.
Even the animation on this is just insane. I've never seen animation on a short this good. I love Warner Brothers and Chuck Jones and Christopher Lee. All those guys were amazing, but nothing compares to what they were doing in Disney.
Oh, especially right here with these shorts. Oh god, that octopus was a little too happy, or I guess he was a little too clingy.
Yeah.
You wonder why he was all alone and single.
Never leave me. Together for he has Goofy Forever carved in his chest.
well, we can't really get a shot out of it, but maybe later it will. But he seems to be very helpful right now. I'm pretty sure this is what's going to get them to win the race. Oh my god, they were practically kissing right there.
Do you know how many games Donald Duck has appeared in? It's insane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 games in the 80s and 90s alone, and there's been like 20 games since then. But it's funny, there's a game made for the Atari called Donald Duck Speedboat that was canceled. It was never released.
Uh, I'm pretty sure that killed the octopus. Probably fried him up. He can be. They can serve. They can eat him. Can't let him go to waste. Jeez. How does he get himself into those situations? Why can't he ever do something just so simple?
I know, but that's the enjoyment.
Goofy.
Everything about Goofy stands for the most embarrassing, crazy moments of our life.
I'm sorry, but that animation a minute ago looked a little too risque. His hands in particular. uh, okay, his head would have been pulled off. Hogwash. I call hogwash on that. Oh, there's the laugh again. And he wins.
Huh. And the characterization in Goofy is so strong. I mean, just the simplest. He never really talked that much, but everything just in his face, just wonderful. We're not going to do the last cartoon. We'll just wrap it up here. Just seriously, you have to see the entire Disney catalog right now is on YouTube. I don't think legally, I don't think Disney knows it's there, but it also is insanely hard to find the shorts. They haven't done a very good job of getting them out there, whereas Warner Bros. Has at least done, I think, maybe a third of all their shorts are on DVD. You can find them anywhere. The Disney ones are a little bit harder to find, which is a shame because they are absolutely exquisite.
Oh, I know. And plus, I think Disney's really focused on the next Pixar film, the next Tron, and all the Marvel Studios films, too.
I will say this. If you are still watching, the next one is exquisite. Lying Around is absolutely a joy to watch. What we were saying, Disney's focus doesn't seem to be on their own creations. I don't get it, because their focus seems to be buying everybody else's property. They bought the Muppets. They bought, there's a company called CrossGen, because they were going to adapt that into movies, which never happened. They bought Pixar. They bought Marvel. They bought LucasArts. And yet, for some reason, they can't get their own stuff going. All they've ever had is Pirates of the Caribbean. Because if you look at all their big studio movies they're spending a fortune on, they are losing their ass. Everything they've done is just lost money, except for Tron Legacy.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, God. I know, Tron Legacy. And, yeah, honestly, and for them to, wait 5 years to make another sequel, yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, because Tron should have been considered a priority.
Right.
And they didn't focus on that for the longest time.
Well,
and plus, with all the Pixar movies coming out with planes and all these little spin-offs and another Cars, I don't even know how that got so many sequels.
That's ridiculous. Oh, it's because of the merchandising. The merchandising for Cars is 3 times what the box office brings in, and yet they don't have to spend $100 million to do another car. To do the merchandising. They already have it licensed and sold, so it is just cheddar for them. That is paying off every single debt they got from Prince of Persia, Lone Ranger. It seems like every time they do a live-action movie, they always cost $150 million, and they always lose their ass. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. I actually like John Carter, but they lost $200 million on that movie.
I'm not surprised.
I miss the days.
Oh God, Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was an insult. That was nothing but an insult.
I miss the days when they were doing their own animated movies, which were gold, and they would do one every 2 years, and then they would do their low-budget comedies, and they weren't meant for everybody. They didn't go out and make these huge epic tentpole movies that were supposed to get audiences worldwide. They made Mighty Ducks. They made Heavyweights. They made That Darn Cat. They made stuff that was lower budget but was meant for kids, and they seem to have ignored what Disney is all about.
I know. It's like now it's because all the kids love Marvels and comic book stuff now.
Yeah, but they're buying other people's property. What happened to Disney when they were actually cultivating their own thing? Why haven't you seen Mickey or Donald or Goofy? Where are these? There's so much merchandising that can be made off their core characters that they started off with, and yet they're poo-pooing all over it. The only thing they're even touching is the fact that they're trying to do live-action versions of their old movies. Like, well, how do you say the word again? Maleficent?
Yeah, Maleficent. And then they also doing Beauty and the Beast. They did Cinderella, and then Saturday Night Live decided to make fun of him and do one of Bambi
Yeah,
with The
and
Rock.
they have the Jungle Book coming. It's the focus.
Oh gosh, the freaking Jungle Book, really?
Yeah, they're doing a live-action Jungle Book, but it's Jon Favreau, so that could be good.
Yeah, but still, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, the most original animated movie that they did was Princess and the Frog.
Which was classic hand-drawn animation. I actually quite liked Frozen.
I never watched it, and I don't plan to watch it. I'm so sick of it. I want it to burn.
Is it because of that song?
Mainly.
Yeah. Give it time. Walk away from it, let it cool down, and then watch it. It really is quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there was one line that people are talking about where it's like, "Whoa, finally, Disney got it right," and she's like, "Wait, no, you can't marry a guy you just met."
Yeah, which
I
they
was like, "Okay,
always
good."
did.
Well, pretty much all of royalty, but I wouldn't say Elsa was completely feminist.
Yeah, some people lost their minds over that. They were just like, "No, they're making her a lesbian." Like, how does that make her a lesbian?
What? No, that does not make any sense. Just because she's, being a human being who can make her own choice, that doesn't necessarily mean she's a lesbian. Gosh, that just means she if she wants to get married to someone, she will. On her own damn time.
Alright, so I think that's it for us here at Back in Tunes. Anything you want to say about these cartoons?
I wish they would re-air these on ABC or something, especially with Walt Disney's 60th anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and I really hope they'd also bring back Steamboat Willie. Oh. That's what really started it all.
Yeah, like do a new version of it.
Right. Also, Disney owns, I think, ABC. And ABC is the one that's why they do Once Upon a Time. That's why they were able to make so many Disney character references, which would make so much sense.
All right.
Because I know, speaking of Frozen, as soon as Frozen got big, and then season 4 started to come around, that's when they decided to introduce the Frozen characters into Once Upon a Time. There's a huge blend of all those, fairy tale characters like Snow White and all that. But they were just kind of when adding in Frozen, they just kind of milked it, and it was really, really, really boring.
No, that's too bad. I've never seen the show, but
honestly, the only reason to watch it is Robert Carlyle as Rumpelstiltskin and Lana Parrilla as the Dark Queen.
All right, so I figured it'd be best for us to end the episode with Goofy yelling.
Okay, wait. Do I have to yell it?
No. I have a clip of it. It's okay. You don't have to blow out your lungs doing it. So let's see if we can get this playing. By the way, everybody, thank you for your support with Back in Tunes. We have built a new page for Back in Tunes on Facebook, so just facebook.com, Back in Tunes. You can catch every single episode of Back in Tunes we've done over the last year and a half. Thank you for your support. If you have suggestions for a cartoon, let us know. We're totally game for it. And I'm Michael signing off.
All right, this is Jacob. Have a good night, everybody. Namaste and good luck.
All right, and let's end it with a good old wahoo-hoo. That's how you do it. You know what? There's no way we could have done that. All right, everybody, good night.